Well, folks, my first guest tonight is an Emmy award-winning actor and can be seen each Tuesday on Frasier. Please welcome David Hyde Pierce. Welcome. Thank you very much for coming. Welcome back to New York. I don't know if you get here very often.
I don't get here often, and I miss it so much.
You do?
Yeah, I used to live here, and I came in Wednesday night and was being driven in from the airport and heard a garbage truck going down the street and burst into tears. It's those memories of, you know, you had a late show or you've got a matinee and an evening the next day, and it's 2 in the morning, and the garbage guys come by, and you open your window and scream obscenities at them. Just don't ever take that for granted.
You don't get that in L.A.
No,
it's a very wonderful thing. Congratulations to you. I want to mention, before it slips my mind, I guess you're just about to air your 100th episode of Frasier, is that right?
Yes.
That's exciting.
It is. It's a big deal.
It's a lot of TV.
Yes. This is, it airs in a couple weeks, November 11th. It's our 5th year.
And
Your 5th year also?
This is our, this is our 5th season.
Huh. Coincidence? I think not. What that means.
Conspiracy theorists. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, it's all you're doing somehow. Your show's, Frasier, of course, very popular here in New York City.
Well, New Yorkers have very good taste. And I was, blatant pandering, I was...
and it works. That's the best part.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
When I got into the airport, we have, you know, last week, on our last week's episode, the character Roz, we found out is pregnant. And this week you'll find out who the father is. But, so I get into the airport in New York, and I'm in the luggage area.
That's how tough it is here in New York.
Slow.
Yeah.
Very slow.
They give you your legs back.
In the luggage area, and this couple comes up to me, and the husband says, "Who's the father?" And I was sure it wasn't me. And then I thought maybe it was like a James Bond thing, and I was supposed to say, "The frost runs deep this time of year." And then I realized what he was talking about.
Well, this is a good time of year to be here. I mean, Halloween.
Halloween is great here.
It's good and bad here, but at least it's an event you'll remember in New York.
It's nice here. The treat is like if they're not armed in New York. That's good. I think, you know, Halloween always makes me think of my grandmother. Not because she's a very sweet woman. Bless her soul.
I hope she doesn't stop watching this segment there. Yeah.
I'm sure she's watching, but no, the first time I ever got scared to pieces was staying at her house. I was like 6 years old, and if you know the movie, The Horror of Dracula, it's a Christopher Lee movie. Great, late 50s, early 60s horror movies. Lots of blood and teeth and really nasty. And I was staying at her house. She had gone to bed, and I was sitting up in her chair and flipping channels. No, sorry, I wasn't flipping channels. Children in those days, you had to actually go to the television to turn the channels.
That's the horrible part of this story, right?
That was so scary, was the lack of technology. But anyway, she was asleep, and I watched this movie, and I was scared to death, and the movie was over, and the test pattern was on, and I knew I had to get from the chair in the living room to the bedroom where she was sleeping in one of the 2 twin beds. I knew that there was a light next to me that was on, and a TV that I had to turn off, and I knew there was a night light over the table in the bedroom. So if I could get the light off and get the TV off, I could run past all the vampires, get into my, you know, jump into bed, I'd be safe. So I got it all in my head. I turned off the light, I ran, I flipped off the TV, I screamed through all the time making that noise you make. It was like you think something bad's going to happen. As it ran, dove into bed, and on the nightstand in a glass, my grandmother had put her teeth. And I screamed and ran back into the living room and slept in the chair the entire night. And that was
the teeth started crawling after you.
I don't know, but it was pretty damn scary.
I did want to ask you about something, because I want to get your take on it. All the, and you might find this a frightening phenomenon, all TV shows now have some kind of a rating. You know, I think our show is, are we TV 14? Which means that only a 14-year-old would enjoy this show.
Yeah.
I believe.
That's right. That's right.
And there's a TV, I guess, MA, mature audiences.
I don't know. I find it very confusing. The thing that I don't understand about it, I know that people want to know, like, what the shows are about, but it's not like advertisers go out of their way to fool you into watching a show that you wouldn't ordinarily watch. It's not like you're watching Jane Seymour, medicine woman, and she's in the middle of healing a horse, and suddenly she whips out a sword and decapitates the preacher. It's like, you know what the show is going to be. Mr. Rogers doesn't go insane and push King Friday in front of the magic trolley. It doesn't happen.
Actually, that's like, I would watch that show.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen.
No. I watched a movie the other night, and like you said, it's very complicated now. And instead of G or R or simple things you could understand, the movie came on and it said Mavis. And it was like mature, adult, violent, incest, sex. But all it said, Mavis, I thought, well, how does that help anyone? Who is this woman?
It doesn't really help at all, does it?
No.
You're, someone said you're, did I... Huh?
No, it's like Boogie Nights.
Don't worry, this tie can't hurt you. It's just a normal tie. Nothing's going to happen. You could have easily... Doesn't have the power to frighten. How about, I say next year you get the scary tie. Okay. That's the big consolation here.
I'll remember.
Yeah, someone said, I understand that you've taken up, this surprised me that you've taken up, what's the matter?
Nothing, just a thing.
It's kind of a crappy set here, I'm sorry. Just lots of dust.
Very nice set.
You've taken up kickboxing. This surprised me.
Yeah.
I didn't think of you as someone who'd be kickboxing.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, the concept is insane to me. No, I'm sorry.
No, that's enough now. No, there's different levels of kickboxing, like there's different belts in karate, and I'm what's called a moron. And because I continually get hurt. The problem is I'm an actor and trained in theater, and I trained a lot of stage combat. And the whole idea of stage combat is you let the person know where they're going to hit you. So in other words, if you're in the middle of a fight and you know, like, he's supposed to punch you in the shoulder, there's a thing called presenting the target, where you actually lean your shoulder forward so they know and they punch you and the whole fight goes great. I have discovered that in kickboxing, when you present the target like that, they punch you in the head. And it totally defeats the purpose.
Yeah, so you're going to give up then, you think, maybe?
Well, no, I keep trying, although also last week I smashed my foot. I was doing these kicks, and they had a big padded thing on a spring. But no one said, kick the big padded thing on the spring, don't kick the steel pole that holds the roof up. And if they don't give you those instructions, how are you supposed to know? So I smashed the stuffing out of my toe, and I have it's hard to think of a word with all those ratings, you can't, stuffing is a good one.
The Mavis.
The Mavis.
Smashed the Mavis out of toe,
and all was well.
But the guy, he was very good as the ancient Asian man, Greg, who was my trainer.
The ancient master.
Yes, he said,
what does that name mean?
He said, when you can get up from the floor, it will be time for you to go.
It's wisdom like that you just can't buy.
No.
Frasier, as if I have to mention it, but is Tuesdays at 9 p.m. right here on NBC. Always a pleasure when you're on the program. Come on back sometime and continued success.
Happy Halloween.
All right, yes, thank you. David Hyde Pierce, everyone. Fred Savage is coming up. We'll take a break.